Gentlemen, welcome to podcast Lawnhub live at lunch, episode 2.
Sorry. Yeah, in true Clint fashion, I'm not ready. Tell them a funny story about your life as a young cricketer. And
Me?
I don't know. Come up with
I've actually got a funny story when we travelled Tasmania. I got left at Port Arthur. I fell asleep in the viewing screen seminar room downstairs. Anyone that's been to Port Arthur will know what I'm talking about. They were playing some film on repeat, and I fell asleep. And who came pick me up? Travis Head and Harry Nielsen. Kelvin Smith, I believe, was also there, and Scholesy, David Scholes, my coach at the time.
And you were under 17, so you were a child at that point legally.
Yes.
Cool.
Dad did meet with the coach the next day and said to Scholesy that he wasn't angry.
Just disappointed?
Just that if I did go missing, the only photo that Dad had of me was in year 3. It was a school picture in his wallet.
That sounds more like a bad parenting than bad cricket management.
Yeah, well, there was a buddy system, but apparently each bus thought I was on the other bus. So, yeah.
Okay.
Then it rained for 4 days straight. Typical Tasmania.
So, we have headphones.
Yes.
Is there a left side and a right side?
Should say on inside.
Oh, I haven't checked that.
Sorry.
Yeah. Wrong side.
Sorry, guys. Oh, Jesus, that's loud.
You get used to it.
Okay.
We're serious now. We got headphones.
I don't think this will ever be serious, but
Yeah?
it's nice of you to say that.
That's okay.
I have heard podcasters say that having headphones helps you from interrupting others, and having my voice loudly in my ears is very much highlighting that I'm talking, which sounds like common sense. So for those of you that have jumped on the live, we are just trying to finalise a few things. We've obviously got a giveaway that we're doing on Facebook, which we'll draw later on in the live, and just give everyone an opportunity who hasn't entered an opportunity to enter. So if you want to enter the draw to win our Lawn Care Essentials pack, you can head over to Lawnhub's Facebook page.
Yeah.
You should know where that is. If not, just search Lawnhub or facebook.com/the Lawnhub.
Lawnhub with an L.
It reminds me of those commercials I recorded for radio.
Yes.
So
Triple M.
we were hoping to get TikTok live, but you have to get, and this makes a lot of sense for those of you that are interested in podcasting, etc. You can't go live on TikTok without verifying your age, which I think is great, especially considering I have children that are probably going to be on TikTok at some point. So yeah, for anyone that was, well, you're not even going to see this, are you? So whoever's over there, sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do something on whatever. So, for anyone that tuned in last week, you have a general understanding of what this is all about. It's kind of unscripted and unplanned, and Jonesy and I will talk about all things lawn and take questions from people live. But we'll also talk about things that may be occurring in the world of lawn.
Lawn, correct.
Or turf, if you live in that world.
Or grass.
If you live in that world. I'm just trying to open up a bunch of different platforms so I can see the questions. I was meant to download Restream, wasn't I, Dylan? Yes?
Yes.
Is it .io?
It's in the chat. Teams chat? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. And obviously if I was connected to the internet, that would be real easy. Anyway, you guys didn't tune in to watch us do this. We'll do the best we can to work through some questions. So what we'll do is we'll start with... Actually, what do we have to do? We need to do a competition on the live.
Yes.
Right? So last week we had questions on Facebook, was probably the majority of things. Kira will be monitoring that.
Yep. Thanks, Kira.
While Dylan does everything else.
Yep. We have no ticking today, though.
We do have the ticking. The ticking is just...
The ticker is there, but it's getting replaced.
Well, I'm going to actually open it and try and fix it.
Yeah, give it a shot.
Well, I did a quick analysis in my head of... Oh, we've got a new light.
We do.
of the time that it would take for it to come back versus the risk of me ripping it apart and fixing it. And I just went, I think there's probably a good chance I'll be able to fix it.
Yep.
So, and if I don't, then we'll have to buy another one. But the time to send it away and get it fixed and sent back is less than a week, or is more than a week. So we won't have it, which means no podcast next week.
Haven't told you yet, but I've already got our first guest next
You got a
Friday.
guest?
Yep. You have to wait,
Okay.
but I'll tell you after.
All right, cool. Oh, yeah.
The listeners and the watchers, they'll have to wait.
Yes.
It's a fellow South Australian.
Okay. Related to lawn in some
Yeah, related to lawn.
Yep. Okay.
He's a character.
Oh, God. So let's just... What are we going to do for the giveaway? What are we going to get people to comment in the...
Maybe we could get the comments up on the GIF on the screen there and have a look through.
Not that giveaway.
Not that one.
Another giveaway. We're just going to keep giving stuff away.
You keep buying stuff, we'll keep giving it away.
For the giveaway, we'll draw that.
Giveaway.
I've got random comment picker on my screen, which I can pop that up and take care of. I don't know if you guys know, moving wallpaper TV.mp4 has just popped up on the screen. Lucky that wasn't called something rude. So yeah, look, we'll just do what we did last week. If you have, what do we do? Where are you tuning in from?
Yes, where are you tuning in from? What country, what state, suburb?
Relevant. Don't give us your address. We have some really, really creepy followers, and people are likely to rock up at your house.
Yes.
So tell us where you're watching from. Comment that, and we will pick one of those comments later on in the stream. But we better get into it because everyone's here to learn. So
That's right.
let's cover off some questions from Instagram to get started, and then we'll go into any questions that pop up on the live. Kira, you got any questions yet popping up? Or yeah, perfect. So then we'll go through that. That's what we did. We gave away a best question thing. All right, so tell us where you're watching from. We'll pick one of those, and we'll send you a prize. And best question will get a prize, and then we'll give away the Lawn Care Essentials packs. There's one for the most reacted comment or GIF, and there's one for the random picker. And if you happen to be tuning in live when we draw that, which will be in maybe 20 or 30 minutes, then you will also get $100 Dan Murphy's voucher, unless, of course, you are currently in a program and you would prefer we can send you a Kmart voucher or similar. All right, so first question from Instagram.
If you get the stream on YouTube on your computer, you'll be able to see on the screen all platforms questions come up as well.
The stream on YouTube,
Yeah, or YouTube, any landscape, YouTube, LinkedIn, whichever.
they'll all be on there.
I've got it popping up on the screen so the viewers can see the questions as well. You'll see.
Mate, we are legit. Like, we're looking for a water sponsor as well.
You make me want to be a better man.
Yeah. At the moment, look for a water sponsor.
A water sponsor?
Yeah, I'd really dig a water
I
sponsor.
feel like WaterPro probably jumps out as the one that I
Yeah,
would be-
but like, imagine a water sponsor.
SA Water?
They're not going to sponsor.
Get some of that government money. So how do I get the live on my screen?
Just youtube.com/Lawnhub.
That's right. I reckon I'm going to go.
We got people for that.
Oh, God. This is horrible. This is horrible, horrible, horrible content. I'll quickly ask the question, and I promise you it will get better. So from B. Denman96, best lawn renovation tips for rentals with a very low budget.
Best renovation tips for a low rental.
No, for a rental with a low budget. So imagine you're Jonesy.
Yep.
And you're renting a property from your landlord.
Yep.
And your lawn's a bit average, but you want to show your friends and family that you're a good dude.
Yep.
What would you suggest that person could do to keep their lawn looking good? And obviously from a reno standpoint, if they were on a low budget.
On a low budget, so assuming that you've already got a lawnmower, cut your lawn on the lowest setting possible on your lawnmower. Then purchase probably the lawn builder pack.
That's what I was going to
say. It's a very, very cost efficient. It goes a long way as well. And then you're obviously going to need to water. Now, if you don't have an irrigation system, which being a rental you probably won't, you could always go and grab one of those Sumi Soka style hoses.
The green specials.
Yeah, the green specials, the blue specials. And just what I used to do in my backyard before I had an irrigation system, I used to peg it out in a zigzag. That'd be ideal because they require low pressure as well. You don't need to be absolutely smashing the water through those.
So to recap, mow low, not core, because obviously that's an additional cost.
That's an additional cost.
In most cases, what we see, you need to core.
Yes.
Right? But if you can't, don't. From an irrigation standpoint, just to expand on what Jonesy said, if you can get one of those, you can pretty much buy any kind of sprinkler from anywhere.
Correct.
But Rob, he's not my PT anymore, which might be quite obvious by the amount of chins I'm carrying at the moment. But we did a video at his place, Rob's Rental Renovation. So I think we did core that because we could, because I was paying for it. But we had a temporary irrigation system that we created using Rainbird R-Vans, I think, on these spikes, and you can just use a garden hose. Shameless plug, they're available at waterpro.com.au, but yeah, you could you could hack that in whatever way you want.
Absolutely. It all depends on your budget as well, you know.
Yep.
And the reason I suggested the Sumi Soka style, the green or the blue hose, is that it can cover a big area for quite a low budget. But yeah, as Clint mentioned, with the temporary irrigation system there, that's also a very good option. It allows you to dial that in a lot better, get water exactly where it needs to go.
All right. I hope that answers the question for you. Kira's just punched through a question from Jack on YouTube. I'm not laughing at that. I'm just laughing at the next question from Justin Wood, that name is one of our employees' names at Railways, but it's not him. So Jack on YouTube, will there be an impact if I do not use the roots and shoots in conjunction with NSFW?
As in, like, combining them together?
I'm assuming he has a pack that either suggests that you apply roots and shoots prior to NSFW.
I mean, you don't have to. There'll be no impact.
Well, there'll be no negative impact.
No,
but you won't have the positive impact of the roots and shoots.
Yeah, correct.
Feeding the lawn. So, if you were looking to get a healthier lawn prior to applying NSFW, obviously using the roots and shoots is going to create a healthier lawn, which means that the weeds are more likely to take the NSFW better and die quicker or die more. Yeah. He's already dead.
Yeah, we need that meme input. Yeah, we need that meme input.
Dylan's soundboard's not working. So no, you could use NSFW. All right, wicked. We might need a third sound engineer. You could use NSFW on its own, as per the instructions on the bottle, without any other products, and it will take care of what it needs to take care of. So no, there is no negative impact of not applying roots and shoots in conjunction as the question, but prior. Question from Justin on Facebook. What is the best product to repair buffalo lawn from damage from a chlorine pool? Tuning in from Port Macquarie. He now qualifies for a prize. Two prizes. So chlorine from a pool. I'm going to guess that it's not salt chlorine. That's actual chlorine.
Roots and shoots.
Yeah. And water.
You want to, being chlorine, obviously it's damaged the lawn. It's going to be somewhat present still in the soil. So you want a deep flush, whether you water that first, like we're talking a big drench, and then
you try and do 25 mil and then do it again the next day. You're not going to get 50 mil into the soil.
No, you're not. But you want to try and flush as much of that chlorine through the soil profile before, I mean, we haven't tested it. I haven't tested it, but I'm not saying there will be, but there may be some negative impacts of combining something like roots and shoots or a three-way with a chlorine as well. We've never tested that, but
it's not registered for using chlorine.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so try and flush as much as the chlorine through the soil profile, and then use something like roots and shoots or a three-way that's going to help relieve a bit of stress and promote new growth and health.
Yep. Question from Angus McGregor. That name looks familiar. South Brighton, South Australia. I reckon that's that nuts Kaikuya. Have you seen it? I think it's on Lawn Geeks.
Yeah, I don't do names usually. I do pictures.
I only read the articles.
I still read picture books.
I'm just going to quickly check if I can find it. Anyway, his question, if I can remember it, I'm not going to remember it, was, what is the most underrated step of a... Oh, it says unrated, but I'm assuming he means underrated step of a lawn renovation. Tuning in from South Brighton, South Australia.
The most underrated, the use of a wetting agent,
Yep.
is the most... that's the most underrated part of all lawn care, is the use of a wetting agent. The use of a wetting agent by itself could single-handedly save a lawn. It could be the difference between it surviving through something and not, whether that's during the heat or the winter period as well.
What's your thoughts on, off the back of that, then using the wetting agent for the last question? Is that going to be a problem?
With the chlorine, I honestly don't know.
Like it helps the chlorine spread through the soil profile?
I mean, in theory, yes, if we were going to, back in year 10 science, we could write a hypothesis.
I know we've covered off this already, but I think that was my year 10 chemistry teacher was the one that said, get help or change subjects. You're pathetic in that. Yeah.
And now look at him.
Still pathetic.
Nah.
We've got lots of questions coming through. This is good. Oh, Fox Friday have just released a new collab with Hop Nation. That could be interesting to some people at home. I'm just trying to bring up Angus's lawn. So I really want to show you, and I think it's who I'm thinking of. But the internet is underwhelming. So I will go to the next question, and if I can find Angus's lawn and it's who I'm thinking of, you'll know exactly who I'm talking about when you see it. We just got our lighting tech, just making sure.
Dylan talking sign language as well.
I think when they set the lights up, Jonesy wasn't wearing a hat, and now that there's no glare, they're able to drop it down.
Chrome dome.
I need my own soundboard. Rob Matthew on Facebook. Are there any apps or good resources that could help me identify grass varieties? Tuning in from Hobart.
Google Lens.
Google Lens?
Yep. Google Lens does a very good job.
Is that an app or it's actually a Google
plugin? If you download the Google app on your phone, I know it does it on Apple, but
you mean instead of just having, you mean not the Google Chrome?
No, like the actual Google app.
Yep.
I'll see if I can. Yeah, so the actual Google app.
Yep.
I'll just make
sure. Incognito.
Yeah,
Dylan,
yep. So
on point there.
the Google app, and then you click the camera icon, and then you can
identify me.
Open up the Google Lens.
I bet it says Shure microphone.
Wow. Yeah. Let's try and hone. And the beauty of it as well is you can really hone in on it. So like we'll do Clint's face. And yeah, it's picked up the mic. So yeah, it's just picked up the mics that we're using. But Google Lens is very good. And I think it's a bit like AI. The more you use it, the better it gets.
I'd be careful with that though. I don't want to not be able to do a podcast. Do we need to take care of that coffee stain? Or
I tried. It's stained.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe tradie wipes, but I don't know if there's any tradie wipes here.
Well, if we had a sponsor.
Yeah. If anyone in the Lawnhub warehouse is currently watching this, do we have tradie wipes under the sink in the kitchen? Because we might need them. We do need them. Or anyone from WaterPro that has a driver coming past.
I'm a bit torn. I like the attention, but I don't want the team standing around.
Well, they've got lots to do.
Actually, if you are listening, send in Isaac. Actually, I've got a question here in Spanish. I can't read it.
Yeah, we have. Oh, no, that was you. That was the chair. I thought the door opened. Oh no, here we go.
Pull back the curtain of mystery.
Oh, thanks, Jose. Wingardium Leviosa.
What am I doing? Passing this over?
Yeah, we'll see if
Was that Spanish?
It's Harry Potter.
Fun fact, never seen it.
Kira's just passed out inside.
How have you never seen that?
I don't like wasting my time, and I think that spending however many hours watching Harry Potter would be a gross waste of time.
Now, if this works, this would be a good plug. And
also haven't watched Star Wars, Star Trek, Breaking Bad. There's probably a
Jurassic
big list.
Park?
No, fuck that. What, you want to watch a movie about fucking dinosaurs coming back and killing us all?
Every kid
I have
ever.
enough trouble sleeping and knowing that I'm responsible for all of you.
That's what those tablets are for.
I didn't
Look, that
realise
worked.
You were meant to eat them. Nah, Angus West is who I'm thinking of. Different dude.
Okay.
Check that out.
Oh yeah, that's nuts. That's pretty cool. That lawn.
Can you see that? I don't know. Is there any? There's no information there that shouldn't be.
I don't think so. It's on a public forum.
So that's what I was thinking of.
Anyone looking for
Is that Isaac? We need Isaac.
anyone looking for a awesome wipe? Great Aussie wipes available at waterpro.com.au.
All right, we'll do this next question while we're waiting for Isaac. I have spots.
Should probably get it checked by the doctor if he's got spots.
I have spots where my grass hasn't grown after 2 months of laying seed. How do I fix?
Is there a photo?
No.
I would like to see an image of that. I have my theories, but
Well, I'm going to say put out more seed.
yeah. Sorry, I get what it means. Yes. So
There are... Yo, come in, Isaac. There are... Anyway.
I get, okay. Sorry, I was trying to be, yes. More seed. So majority of seeds will be in Australia that are available, unless you're after a specialty seed, will be a cool season variety, which is a bunching style plant, meaning that if you have bare spots, that you'll require to reseed or overseed those areas to promote new growth. Hello, Isaac.
I'm going to introduce
Hello.
Isaac.
Isaac is one of our Lawnhub employees. He has come from the other side of the country to work, other side of the world, sorry, to work here.
You're thinking of Tasmania.
Yeah.
The other Mexico.
Yeah, the other Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah, so Isaac is from Mexico and he can speak Spanish and he's going to be able to read this question for us.
Read it into the mic.
Ok, necesitarías hablar este podcast en español.
So what does that mean, Isaac?
Is the podcast in...
Siéntete libre de hacer las preguntas que necesites en español.
And what does that mean in English? You are my Google translator.
Mhm.
What do you think it means?
Is the podcast available in Spanish? Is that what you
Yes.
said? Yes.
Yes.
I speak Spanish too.
Oh, good.
Remember Isaac? Las cinco muertes.
Okay.
Why do you have an American accent to the back of your Spanish?
I don't know.
So-
Isaac knows what I said.
Isaac's learning English at the moment. When Isaac first started here, I don't know if you guys can hear me on the mic, but
Yep.
Isaac spoke what? All you could say was hello and my English no good. That was it.
My English never.
Now he knows pallet jack,
Mhm.
forklift, where the fuck's the tape gun,
Yep.
Box.
box.
Box. Bush.
Bush.
And remember,
Everything products, yes.
remember Isaac, NSFW. Remember, not safe for work. Remember the explanation that John and I gave you the other day of that?
Let's talk about it. Anyway,
Awesome.
so maybe we'll have to get we'll have to do a Spanish version. I don't know how we're going to do that. We might need Adriana's help.
I believe so.
Do some translations. All right. Do you have anything you want to add? Do you have anything you want to say?
Sorry.
Do you have anything you want to say to the audience? No.
No.
All good.
No.
Thank you.
No worries.
Okay.
Thank you, Isaac.
All right.
Isaac was officially our first guest.
Oh yeah, there you go. First guest on the podcast. Thanks, Isaac. Isaac's actually here with his wife Adriana, who's over here doing I think it's a music. She's on a visa. They're on visas with their music for her. Her visa's connected to her being a music teacher. Her English is elite.
Yep.
But Isaac is much more interested in being involved in the
Yes,
podcast than
yeah,
Adriana is.
absolutely.
So, and the team here have really taken it upon themselves to really help him assimilate and learn as much English as possible, which is really cool to come in here and see how much he's grown here. Brent Tobin on Facebook, can Money Shot be added to Primo Max to help with colour drop? Has Money Shot got enough iron in it to help?
Primo Max and Money Shot can be mixed together, absolutely, to help combat the colour loss that a growth regulator does. There is definitely enough iron in Money Shot. Is 6% or is it 7% iron? 16.07. 7. So 7% iron, which is a very high iron content. So absolutely, Primo Max can be mixed with Money Shot to help combat the colour loss that can happen with growth regulator.
Thank you. Mitchell Bond on Facebook. What's the best product to encourage grass to fill in areas where you have dug up weeds and filled the hole with sand?
You're not going to believe it, Clint. Roots and Shoots. Roots and Shoots is elite at what it does. In its name, it's Roots and Shoots. So if you've got a bare area in your lawn, Roots and Shoots. You're looking to recover from a bit of stress, Roots and Shoots. It's a kelp-based product which is perfect for, like what I've just mentioned, heat stress, times of when there's been no water, or your dog has gone to the toilet there. Roots and Shoots, Roots and Shoots, Roots and Shoots.
Glyphopis.
Glyphopis. I saw that used in OzLF the other day.
I did too, and I had a laugh. I was like, the power of the internet.
Yep.
Anthony Cook on YouTube. Is there a specific time of year we should be applying pre-emergent herbicides? Are they set and forget with a 6-month application?
So that's a great question. Pre-emergent application timing is pretty much different for each state, but in South Australia, I like to time my pre-emergent applications around Easter, so just before Easter, and then just after AFL Grand Final Day. I've been doing that for the last 6 years, and it seems to be working for me. The reason for that is you're getting your pre-emergent down before the weed seeds begin to germinate, so by the time the active is active in the soil, it's able to do what it's able to do. So when's Easter? Around March, April usually? Yeah.
Again,
April.
Not a big supporter, not a big fan.
So I'd be looking at April and around September.
Follow-up question from Brent Tobin. Any recommendations? So he was the one that asked about the Money Shot. Any recommendations on how much Money Shot should be applied with Primo Max when doing that process?
If it's your first time applying Primo Max or any growth regulator, I suggest doing the full rate of Money Shot and then quarter to half rate of growth regulator. If it's your second, third, or it's your part of your maintenance plan, then you could easily go half rate Money Shot and whatever rate growth regulator, because the plants become used to the growth regulator.
We're live on Instagram.
Yep.
It's working okay?
Beautiful.
Nice work. All right, we've got another question in the Instagram from the post yesterday. Shan Evs from last
Oh,
week,
Shan Evs.
who is a recent winner of prizes. What is your recommended backpack sprayer setup for a homeowner?
So backpack sprayer for the homeowner, assuming that you've got a decent sized lawn, you'd be wanting to start about the 10 litre, the Solo 414. Combine that with the nozzle upgrade kit, can't go wrong.
Unless you're tall and you need an extension.
Yes, you need an extension, which we have access to. We currently have a couple of wands that are available on our website, but absolutely, it's a good, if you're looking to get into a more commercial sprayer, we are looking at other options from Solo. They do have a commercial range as well, but definitely for the homeowner, 10 litre Solo 414.
Tom Knight, glyphopis should now be included in the dictionary.
Absolutely, yep. It's a word because Dylan. So one morning, so Dylan sits in front of me in our office at Dry Creek. And he's gone away at his keyboard and he's like, Jonesy, what is glyphopis? I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, well, I can't find it on the internet. I said, that's because it's a word Clint made up in a video and it's just stuck. So
I think we need some new sounds for the soundboard. Is that the only sound we've got?
we've got clapping.
Just
Crickets. Cricket.
Do you have a photo on your soundboard of what they are, or you just have to know?
It's got the name of them here. Rim shot.
Rim shot.
That's what it's called.
That's not what I thought the noise was going to be.
Well, rim shot's more of an image than a sound, right?
Yeah.
All right. Lee Cox. Hi, fellas. Listening in from Salisbury in South Australia, looking at buying Trojan and BBW. Can I mix these two and do in one application with the spreader? Also looking at using NSFW. When is the best time to apply all of these products?
Awesome question. So, can you apply Trojan and BBW together to save time? You can, but there is a little disclaimer. If you're mixing them into the same spreader, sometimes BBW can just not be spread properly when it's mixed with Trojan. So we recommend that they applied separately. So you do a run of Trojan, then do a run of BBW. But they can be applied on top of each other on the lawn and then watered in together. It's recommended. If you buy the Glory Hole pack, the application calendar will say that you can apply them at the same time or on the same day and water in. In regards to NSFW, I would apply that on a very similar or the same timeline as the weed and feed pack. So it'd be about 10 to 11 days after applying Trojan and BBW.
Yeah, that's usually if I'm in the chat. And yes, sometimes it's me responding to your questions in our online chat. I always say you can apply them together, but what I mean by that is back to back and then water.
Ideally, yeah.
I just think the reality is with all of the products that we sell, accuracy is key. And, you can just look at my front lawn as an example of what happens when there is inaccuracy. And the idea is that you follow the instructions and apply them well. And I don't know that anyone's quite good enough to be able to get both of those products through a spreader and guarantee an even application.
Yeah, it almost need to be blended together at manufacturing.
Yeah.
Because there are obviously fertilizers that come with a wetting agent, but like Clint said, accuracy of application back to back.
Here we go. Obsessive Lawny. G'day, gents.
G'day, mate.
Hang on a sec. Is this person assuming my identity gender?
Oh, Jesus.
Are you stocking any seeds? I can't remember. Time to start thinking about overseeding. Also, does a bent overseed on a cooch work? And can it be sprayed out come spring?
Literally, just all in my wheelhouse there. So we'll start with what seed does Lawnhub sell? So Lawnhub sells a perennial ryegrass blend. It's called Seed 3 Kilo. The cultivars that are used in that blend, there's 3 types. Off the top of my head, I can't remember exactly. All I know is that it is the same blend that is used on Adelaide Oval. I can confirm that, which is pretty cool. So
I'm really looking forward to the next legal notice from the Adelaide Oval Management Authority saying
the oversowing.
You can't say that.
Well, anyway, can you sow bent into cooch? Yes, you can. So my front yard for the last 2.5 years has been a bent / Santa Ana cooch putting green. If you drive past my house at the moment, though, it looks nothing like it. I've got weeds. It's terrible. I've been busy, soz. But, yes, absolutely. And then, yes, you can spray it out with a selective herbicide that is not safe for bent, but is safe for cooch and registered for that use.
From a seed standpoint, I'm thinking that we will probably start selling the seed that we've used at my house.
Yes.
I think it is an amazing seed blend that, if it's in the hands of a responsible adult, would deliver better results than
Yep.
it's getting at my house.
But to be fair, it's looking pretty good at your house.
It
We were there
is.
last week.
I think that I am trying to get about 8 to 8.5 days of life out of 7 days every week.
Yes.
And hence why there's stuff everywhere. And I, like the other night, I mowed my front lawn because it was really long, and I'm doing the 1/3 rule upside down at the moment. And I was at home with two of my kids, just me and them. I had to have them fed and in bed because I'm pretty strict with that shit. And I had like a 42-minute window to mow an edge and reseed the front lawn, so I basically mowed and edged and reseeded 10% of the area that needs to be reseeded.
Yeah.
And so then I know that the next time I get 13 minutes, I'll reseed the other crescents that I've put in my lawn.
That's literally Clint's life.
Whoops.
But if we're on the subject of seed and turf varieties and stuff, I did say this morning on Instagram that we were going to discuss some lawn varieties and some different settings that they will use. So I'll quickly touch on that now. Good little segue there, if that's all right, Clint.
That's fine.
Yeah.
There's just, excuse me, I'll just ask you this follow-up question from Obsessive Lawny. Are you happy to tell him what the selective is that will kill that grass, or are we not allowed to say that?
I mean, I personally have no problem with saying it, but
Who has problems with it?
probably
The world?
The world, but it's Monument.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Do you need to be licensed to use that or something?
At the moment, you do, but I read something, was it yesterday, that they are looking to remove the strictness on it. I can't remember the actual terminology. I was quite busy, but to make it so that all you need to do is record where you used it, the time you used it, for a record of 2 years, which is already on the label, but then it also says not to be used in the home garden. So, yeah, but it's very good at what it does.
Good time to remind everyone not to use any of the products that we sell off-label
Correct.
to avoid damage, injury, health issues, pain, government involvement, whatever might come from it. Okay, now there are probably other questions. Kira, you still punching them through? Oh, I'll have to say this.
Respect.
Brendan White, you're the only two blokes that make lawn care enjoyable,
Thanks, Brendan.
even though my lawn is shithouse.
Oh, come on, Brendaddy.
Do you know this person?
Yeah.
Oh.
Went to school with him.
Oh, he's not having a prize then. Sucking up. All right. Tell your story, then we'll go back to the questions.
Well, I want to...
This might just go longer than an hour, but I don't care. I got nowhere to be. You two hungry? They don't give a shit. All right, carry
Are
on.
you 3 hungry? Yeah, man.
I don't care about you. You should have eaten before like I did.
Nah, you're right. I bought my lunch, bro.
Wicked lamb euros.
So I want to talk about the turf varieties that we used at the golf on the weekend. So the Live Golf event at Mayakoba in Mexico. So their putting greens there were Sea Isle Paspalum. Now your ears might perk up when you hear the word Paspalum, but yes, Paspalum.
Paspalum or
Paspalum, however you want to pronounce it.
Okay.
Potato,
tomato.
patata. Yeah. Well, that was cute. It can be in the right setting. These, what can be considered a weed for some people. Obviously, it's not the same cultivar of Paspalum that we get here in Australia, but it is a variety of Paspalum, and was used throughout the golf course and on the putting green. So, and it's suited to that area because it has a higher salt tolerance, where brackish water is sometimes used in irrigation.
What's brackish water?
Brackish water is the combination of salt and fresh water coming together. So that's considered brackish water, especially in places like Mexico where maybe the fresh water, if they have a bore, if it's not yielding enough water, they'll have to resort to natural water sources from a brackish area.
And so the bore might be high in salinity.
Yeah, as well. So high in salinity, or just the fact that they've yielded too much and they have to wait for it to fill back up before they pull from it again.
I know that sometimes the what was I going to say? Like the golf courses that we deal with here have to shandy their bores or dams with mains water to deal with that salinity. So
Yeah, or you can counteract it with the use of chemicals as well that neutralizes the water. That's also another option. And then this one, so the other golf event that happened on the weekend was the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. So Pebble Beach's greens were Poa annua, which is wintergrass.
which is something that everyone's trying to kill in Australia.
Correct. But in the right setting can be used as a putting green. So obviously wintergrass putting greens are a different breed when it comes to the maintenance that they require. So they obviously, as we know, wintergrass has a real shallow root system. So you can't overwater, but you can't underwater. You need to be on top of your your growth regulators, and you also need to be on top of your mowing, because it's, as we know, if you mow your lawn, wintergrass is the first, and you have wintergrass in it, wintergrass is the first bit that grows back as quick. So, it's quite interesting. Winged Foot as well, the US Open was there in 2021. They also have wintergrass greens. So it's common in places that aren't as hot. You wouldn't have a wintergrass green here in South Australia. You
obviously haven't played any regional golf courses lately.
Well, purpose built greens to be wintergrass. I could be wrong. There could be one here in SA, but it would require a lot of water and a lot of maintenance. Whereas typically golf courses are using a bent here because they can withstand the heat a lot better than that of wintergrass. So.
I remember touring a few golf courses in Western Australia with the South Australian Golf Course Superintendents Association 8 years ago. And we went to a course there that were replacing the green because it had kind of the balance of Poa versus what was meant to be there, which I think was a bent or something similar. It was like 90% Poa.
Yeah.
And all the other greens were kind of fine. So the solution was pretty much rip it out.
And I mean, when it comes to one green that's struggling, like in that situation, the playability changes. And in an ideal world, the practice green plays like every other green in the golf course. So if you're having a practice on the putting green, like the practice putting green, and you're like, yep, these are pretty quick, the expectation is that then the next 18 putting greens are exactly the same. And if you got one that's playing up, then unfortunately the reality is that that's what you got to do. And if you can't control it with something like Poa Check for a long time was the market leader in that, which has now moved to Poa Cure because the wintergrass varieties here in
resistance,
building resistance, to even glyphosate as well. So I read a study about Poa resisting glyphosate here in Australia. So
maybe we should embrace the Poa and use it to make clothing.
I'm sure would be a market for that. Yeah,
if it's that strong.
Well, we know it grows in roads, it grows up gutters, it grows
like
everywhere.
Kikuyu.
Yeah, like kikuyu.
Got a bunch of questions.
Yep.
So I'll keep going with the questions. Obviously, we want to get to talking about the SCG. We still need to do the prize draw. But again, if people are going to keep asking questions, we'll sit here and answer them. Jack Chapo, while watching, I have just conceded I need to top dress. It's going to be up to 10 mil in a few places. What process or application do you suggest beforehand, and how far out?
What turf variety do you have?
Jack, if you can let us know what turf variety you have.
I can still answer it.
I would say answer it for a Kikuyu initially, and then we'll go from there.
If you've got a warm season turf variety like Kikuyu or Cooch, like Tiff Tuff, Santa Ana, the best practice would be to scout the lawn first, remove as much material as you can. 10 mil on a warm season variety is nothing. And we've still got enough time before the cooler months hit for it to recover. So scout, so cut the lawn as low as you possibly can on your mower, and then go at it with the shovel and sand and either a rake or a lawn level. 10 mil's nothing for a warm season grass.
David, Aaron, I'm sitting in the car while my missus is at the dentist.
Beautiful. That's what we love to hear.
Kike, Zoys, or T31? And the follow up is which is the best. So you might you might have an opinion outside of those three, but he's asking Kike. Sorry for assuming your gender, David. I know in this world it's probably unreasonable for me to do that. Kike, Zoys, or T31?
For me, I'm going a Cooch variety. 10 days. 10 out of 10. Sorry. Yeah, it's Friday. It's been a big week.
Imagine you drank as much alcohol as I did yesterday.
I'd be shocking. Be like that time we went to the cricket.
Actually, for anyone watching, if you've been following us for a little while, I'd love to know if anyone caught Jonesy's live at the cricket in a corporate box after drinking with me all day.
It's terrible.
So T31, what's Zoys?
Zoysia, so you got Zoysia australis, you've got Sir Grange Zoysia.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't really have a lot of that here.
Sir Grange is grown on the turf farms here. It's just like $35 a square.
And also, I'd say that like for every 100 orders, one is that.
I'd almost extend that out. Yeah.
Why don't you like Kikuyu?
It's not that I don't like it.
You just chose.
It's just that I like the look of a finer cut turf. Yeah. But in saying that, Dad's got Kikuyu and you regulate it and mow it regularly.
Same with Ervo.
Yeah. It does look nice, but it just requires a lot of maintenance if you want it to look pristine all the time.
Ben Peters on YouTube, response to Jonesy, I think this might have been from last week. Your teacher is stupid for saying cricket is not a career.
Thank you.
I'm a wicket curator and it's the best job I've ever had.
Yeah. Well, it's actually what I wanted to be in the turf industry when I was in year 10. Did my work experience at the Sandy Creek Golf Course, and then was fortunate enough to play cricket on some pretty high-profile cricket ovals, cricket grounds around Australia. So
because you were so good at cricket?
Well, because I was part of a team, that was good at cricket.
Good answer. It's the kind of team mentality we need in the Australian cricket. No, we don't. We're fine.
And yeah, so I started doing. I actually did what was that thing you did at school in year 12?
Work experience.
No.
Meth.
No, absolutely not. Research project.
Okay, I didn't do that, and I didn't finish at 12, so this will be interesting for me to hear.
So I don't know if it's still the same, whether I've been out of school 11, 12 years, I don't know. But
I think Kira went to high school in New Zealand, so it's vastly different.
Yeah.
It's basically like choose your own adventure, right? Everyone goes and shears a sheep and then has
you
lunch.
You would have done it. Your research project?
Year 12,
yeah, in year 12. So my whole research project was done based around cricket wicket preparation, how far out, like a test wicket's chosen, how to, rotate pitches, squares, how to, introduce the heavy roller to the light roller and the medium roller. Like it was very interesting. But then TAFE cut the funding and I didn't have the money as a 16, 17-year-old kid to go and pay for that myself. So
it's really interesting on that. Obviously that funding is driven from the state government, and there is now a skills shortage in a lot of trades, like bricklaying, panel beating, landscaping,
and it all
turf,
because of that.
Because
time.
they cut that funding when you were at high school, and now because of that decision, you will wait a year for a landscaper, 18 months, and you'll pay X dollars because there's obviously an economy there and there's a shortage.
Yeah, that's
So,
right.
do you feel like you need to expand on are you emotionally stable around everything that happened at school now? Or do we need to talk more about it?
I mean, look, if I had my time again, I would have said a few things to some teachers. And I wish the education program taught you a lot more life stuff. And I think if someone has made their mind up about what they want to do and then properly, and I know...
they have a pathway to execute on it.
Yeah, so, and it's probably a lot different now, but if you wanted to be a tradie, like a carpenter, from year 8 to year 12, you had a program.
Yes. I'm going to be careful how I say this. Think about why a government may not want you to know how to navigate adulthood well.
So you stay within the lines?
And then you depend on the government.
That's right.
They don't need free-thinking individuals, and
That's
that's why that is how it is. So anyway, we won't continue on that pathway. Where are we question-wise? My laptop's gone below half as well, if I can steal a PowerPoint from someone. Did my charger get brought up here?
Yes, it's with my bag,
Okay.
which I'm not sure where it is.
Oh, here we go. Sean Evans, Facebook. 3-way as a slow-release granular. What are your thoughts?
I mean, 3-ways are liquid.
No, like I said, what he's saying is, do you think that there would be merit in making a granular product with the same NPK as 3-way and selling it?
As far as I'm aware, you can't replicate what 3-way does in a granular form. I could be wrong. I'm not a
Intelligent human being.
chemist, but I'm not sure.
Where's my soundboard?
I'm not sure, and like I said, I'm not a chemist, so I don't know exactly how this works, but the trace elements available in 3-way, I'm not sure how you'd go about getting them in a granular form.
You know who would know the answer?
The people that make it?
Simon Rice.
Yes. He would probably definitely know.
I miss Simon. I hope he's well. If you're watching, Simon, I hope you're well. All right. What do we got next? Kira, have I missed any in that list? Your teacher's stupid. Oh, Easter. Here we go. Melbourne Grass Cutter on Facebook. Are you guys having an Easter sale coming up, and will you have Mini Peel back in stock? Fuck, I hope you have a good answer for this question. I would like to try it out.
So Mini Peel, I chased up with the supplier again. I hope everyone's ready, but it's still not coming in. So they're not bringing that raw material in at the moment. The demand for it is more in the US and China.
All right. So I'm going to go to the US. I don't even think my wife knows this. In early March
Yep.
to start a lawn fertilizer business. I can maybe find some and bring it back.
I have no doubt that you'd be able to find it. It'd be like, you haven't seen Back to the Future, so.
No, I have seen Back to the Future.
You have seen Back to the Future, so you know when.
My mate is a DeLorean importer.
Oh, that's right.
And,
yeah, I keep forgetting that.
Yeah.
But you know how, like, when Doc says to Marty, future Marty, he says, like, plutonium might be available on the streets in 1985, but it's not available here in 1955. It'd literally be like, go to the corner store, and there'd be Mini Peel fertilizer in America.
Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously, the people that bring them in don't care enough about their customers.
I just
bring it in.
I just don't think the Australian market has such a high demand for
the juice
it.
isn't worth the squeeze.
Yeah.
Whereas we will do it because we care about our customers.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
The juice is worth the squeeze.
And that's not dissing the Australian market. It's just the reality. Like, just with everything, why would you invest time, money, effort into an area that's only going to give you back a certain amount?
Why is it more popular in the US?
It's more popular in the US because there's a lot more golf courses.
It would be a population-driven thing,
Yeah.
I'd say. Can you turn my headphones down by maybe 30 or 40%? Probably should have them on then, shouldn't I? What do we got here? How did you guys go at the supercars? Do you want me to answer that?
I'm like, literally, there's no sound in our headphones anymore.
Oh, you turned down both of them.
And then Clint's like, go down. I'm like, I don't think you can go
Turn it
any
up a
lower.
little bit, turn it up a little bit, turn it up a little bit. Can you hear that?
Yeah, that's
Hear it all
better.
right?
Yeah, is that all right for you?
I can handle it.
Or
It's
if you
okay.
don't like it, you can just scrap it. It's
What?
fine.
No, it's all right. Leave it there. If you can hear, I'm all right.
Yeah.
Maybe turn it up a little bit. This is top quality viewing. Okay. V8 supercars. I will give you a business case and I will give you a personal case. So growing up and even into my adult years, I would go to the V8s, even the Formula One prior to that, before the Victorians stole it away from us and ruined it. Every year, my wife's parents would always have a gold pit entry seat package that we'd buy, and in Adelaide we'd always have buy the tickets from last year and you get last year's price, keep it this year, that kind of thing. And so we would attend a lot, and so there was an emotional desire now that I was in a financial position to be able to be a part of the V8s. And obviously, for those of you that aren't aware, we were sponsoring the Erebus team. You can turn the headphones up even more if you want to. Sorry. We were sponsoring the Erebus. Yeah, that's good. We were sponsoring the Erebus racing team for 2 years, one with WaterPro and then into Lawnhub last year when Brody Kostecki won the championship, and Erebus, I think they won the team championship as well. So it ticked that box from a young man wanting to kind of be able to, be a part of it. And we obviously had a lot of corporate things involved, so we took clients from WaterPro as well, and that was great. Sadly, I had to fly out. Yes, this is like first world problems. Sadly, I had to jump on a business class flight to the US the next morning, so I couldn't spend the whole weekend there. What a douchebag. And so I didn't get to see it all. I think if you ask from a business case, so from a personal case, I loved being part of it, and I loved meeting the team at Erebus. Obviously, there's a fair bit of media around Erebus at the moment, and I guess from my experience, they were the most welcoming group of human beings that I had experience with in that world. Shannon, who is now their general manager, is a fucking elite human being, and the kind of person that removes the glass ceiling women bullshit and is just an elite operator. And I think this is a whole nother tangent, but I think that merit, she's just an elite human.
Yeah.
And removes the need to say she's a female general manager. She's just a fucking elite general manager.
Yeah, that's right.
And, even Betty, who's the team owner, who does not need to spend time talking to anyone, was talking to everyone and taking photos. And my mother-in-law is a massive fan, and she got a photo with her. And so that was really nice to feel like you're part of the team that won, and to give access to our clients, which was a nice feeling to share that with our clients. From a business case standpoint, I don't believe that the financial investment for the sponsorship probably got the return. I mean, from a direct standpoint, I think we sold 34 packs off of our signs, maybe.
Yeah, off the signs, and then we put it in the weekly cart, and that drove it. But the signs base purely,
And you can't measure marketing like that. And if you're watching this, you'd be very across the fact that we do a lot of marketing, and we would spend more money on marketing than any other lawn company in Australia. I don't think the juice was worth the squeeze. I also don't think radio was the same. But if you take everything that we do and put it all together in a mixing pot, it spits out a successful business. So at the moment, the people from the supercars have reached out to me to catch up and debrief. I haven't been able to catch up with them. I keep moving it. My fault more than theirs. At this stage, we won't be doing it next year. I don't know what will happen with Erebus. We're such a small piece in that group of cogs that I don't imagine we'll hear from them until closer to the round. We don't sponsor Erebus outside of the Adelaide round and obviously the Gold Coast round when we got a package. But the supercars, all in all, we had fun. I think my team had fun. I know my stepdad had a fucking blast. And so it was cool. It's just a few things didn't go how I had hoped. Or how I expected, and that can sometimes leave a bad taste, but all in all, it was good. Blake Magrin, listening from New South fucking Wales.
Fucking awesome.
I'm guessing that's what that means. He wrote NSFW. What are the best things to use on buffalo? I'm keeping it fairly low, and how regularly would you use the recommended products?
So buffalo responds really well to something like the Dry College pack or the Lawn Builder pack. Both come with application calendars. Being that you're a bit more of if you're cutting low, you've obviously got more interest in your lawn. I'd steer towards the Dry College pack. That's going to give you obviously Trojan, granular BBW, wetting agent, and 3 liquids. So it's a good pack that's going to be a good maintenance program, and it's also going to be a good pack just to really help your lawn stand out from the rest of the street. The application calendar on there as well says when to reapply as well. So
Jack, who asked before about dropping it and doing up to 10 mil of top dress, has just added Sir Walter is the lawn, and it's in Bridgewater in South Australia, which adds 2 variables that might change your advice.
So buffalo is different. Is a different kettle of fish here. So because buffalo grows on the surface of the surface of the surface, I was going to say that, on the surface of the soil, and doesn't have underground runners like rhizomes, like a couch lawn and kikuyu, you want to ensure that when you do top dress, you still have some green leaf showing through. So if you have some really deep holes, you may need to do a couple of top dress before it comes up. The reason why you want to leave the green leaf above the soil or above the sand is because that allows the plant to photosynthesize and grow. If you get rid of all the green material and you cover all the green material, it's going to be really hard for that plant to then push through.
For a buffalo specifically.
For a buffalo, yes.
Obviously, Bridgewater also being in an area that can have more rain and less sun.
Yeah. So I'd advise
slowly.
just to go over it. Maybe the next 2 seasons are going to be dedicated to light top dressing.
Yep. He also said, and what products? I'm guessing Trojan wouldn't be too big for a Sir Walter.
No, it's perfect. Yeah, lawn builder pack.
Yep. So Trojan, so mow it down, not too low.
Yep.
Top dress as per Jonesy's advice, lightly, and apply Trojan and BBW separately. Water in well with at least 11 mil of water, 10 mil of water, which we'll talk about a little bit later what that means. And roots and shoots a week later, and then kind of follow that lawn builder pack.
Yeah,
that'll be the most inexpensive way to get really good results. Yep, cool. Mick Cotton, hi Clint and Adam, it's Mick from Manapara. With the upgrade sprayer nozzles, what one is better suited for spraying wet, and can you show us the differences? Cheers.
Yes, I'll go get one.
All right.
Because I need to go to the toilet. So,
well, while you're doing that, I might talk about irrigation. So,
yes,
the Jonesy brought up yesterday that for a lot of people, it doesn't make sense when we talk about 10 mil of water, 11 mil of water, 25 mil of water, and so what that refers to is the amount of water that's being delivered in an irrigation event that, like in a rainfall event comparison. So you've probably heard weather people talk about, we had 30 mil of rain, or there's floods in Queensland and they've had 180 mil of rain. What that refers to is the amount of water that has fallen on a square metre per period in one event. So 1 mil of rainfall or irrigation is equivalent to 1 litre of water spread over 1 square metre of surface area. Now, you can use that information to calculate how much rain is likely to fall on a roof of a house to fill a rainwater tank, and then size a rainwater tank appropriately. And you can also use that to understand how much water to apply to a lawn to safely water in products like wet or a fertiliser. And so when we use a product like the Hunter MP Rotator, which is probably one of the most popular residentially used sprinkler nozzles available in Australia, they deliver 10 mil of water per hour. And what that means is if you turn them on and you put the whole area was a catchment, you would catch 10 litres of water in every square metre every hour. And so, and using a product like MP Rotators ensures that that's even. So there's nothing worse than achieving the total number of litres across, say, 100 square metres, but having an uneven coverage, because then you're going to get an uneven amount of growth. And that's why we use a matched precipitation nozzle, which is the MP Rotator, and that's why we focus on even watering. So using a product like an MP Rotator ensures that we are able to deliver the amount of water we want. So if you had a product that required you put 5 mil of water out after applying it, you could use the MP Rotator for 30 minutes and you will get that 5 mil. And the irrigation business that I own, WaterPro, some of those staff spend their entire days designing irrigation systems to ensure that the water is being delivered in that way. Efficient watering means no wastage of water, but it also means accurate watering, even growth, and obviously being able to know how much you're watering in when you are applying chemicals, so that you're not damaging your lawn and in fact getting the result that you want. I finished. Did you find some nozzles?
There's still a dry creek.
This is why we keep getting comments like, when are the nozzles back, Adam, you useless business person?
It's dry as fuck.
You useless business person. All right, I've just explained irrigation.
beautiful. But I can explain the difference between the two nozzles.
We should do that. I am going to take some Nurofen.
Right.
The answer to the question of how many cans of craft beer can you have on a Thursday night without feeling like shit on Friday is whatever I had yesterday plus 1. Minus 1.
A tip for young players: if you're ever in a setting where Clint's at the bar and you try and keep up with him, just don't do it.
Ooh, I can't even keep up with me anymore.
Okay, so so Lawnhub's located at a secret location, but Dry Creek Water Pro is currently where the nozzles are. They were sent there. Anyway, so there's 2 different nozzles. With wet, you want to use for me, I personally like using what are you shaking for? You're good?
Scratching.
I thought you were shaking like we're no good.
Look, he's allowed to have an itchy ear.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I personally like to use the coarser nozzle, so that's the air induction nozzle. Now, with the Lawn Upgrade kit, if you go, can we get it on the screen, please, if that's okay? Because then I'll be able to show the difference.
You might need to guide Kira.
Physically.
So lawnhub.com.au.
So there's 2 different nozzles. There's a longer nozzle and a shorter nozzle. So the longer nozzle is the air induction nozzle. What that does is it, in its name, it introduces air into the nozzle droplet, making it coarser. So perfect for a wetting agent, especially wet, because it is quite viscous. It's not going to get stuck in the nozzle, and you're going to get an even application. And what else was in the question? I forgot.
Sorry, I've just opened up Facebook and Johns is in there commenting.
Oh, goodness.
I will update you on that in a second. The question was...
Yes. So as you can see...
Yeah, take the mic. That's why you got headphones.
As you can see, there's a short one and a longer one. The longer one is the air induction. That's going to be for your more when you need a coarse application. So something like a Barricade and a Spartan, they require, it actually says in the label that they require a coarse nozzle. And then your standard flat fan nozzle, that's going to be perfect for your liquid fertilizer application that you want to be doing foliar spray. So something like Money Shot, where you want it to be nice and even, nice and fine over the leaf blade.
Of those 2 nozzles, which is better for spraying wet?
I personally steer towards the air induction one.
I think I lost one of them. I use the same one for all products, and it's fine. It's probably in my shed somewhere. Okay, so Johns, for some of you, well, for anyone that doesn't know, Johns is former employee of Lawnhub and a very good friend of the business and me. Was here at the start, like the start. He just said that in 1987, his research project was West End draft burnouts and hot chips. Oh, and I played a lot of pinball at the Blue and White Cafe.
That's Johns in a nutshell. I love that.
Stuart Gregory has just said, got any giveaway tickets to Live? This would be pretty keen. I will wash your car also. You haven't seen how big my car is. So we don't have any giveaway tickets to Live. I do have a lot of tickets to Live, but I am not giving any of them away. Actually, I'm giving away to clients for Water Pro, but those tickets are...
They were sold out very quickly.
Pricey too, and probably that's more than one car wash. I'd say that's probably about 8 to 10 car washes.
Per year for the next 10 years.
No, not that dramatic. But we've loosely talked about Live. Obviously, the event itself means a lot to the business. Water Pro has been involved in last year, and we've got a relationship with the Grange and Rowan there, as well as their team. So we will be there. We will be doing a lot. We haven't actually had a conversation with Live specifically around any activations that we might do, but it's on my mind. The issue I've got with Live is that it's a bit later into the... fucking Rowan messaged me 2 days ago. I haven't messaged him back. So Rowan, if you catch this, I'm sorry. I will call you as soon as I can. I think for us to do an activation at Live, it might be too late in the season for us to get a return on investment. And I know that sounds like a shitty answer, but as much as this is a lot of fun, we are a business, and if we run out of money, it all stops.
Yeah.
So
plus, I'm not sure what the advertisement for Live is. I don't know
who we would be dealing with, if we'd be dealing with Live directly, or it wouldn't be Grange, because the course becomes the property of Live.
That's right, and that's what I suppose some people don't understand as well, is these massive events. Then it's very corporate, and it is how it is because of the way that it's run. And I mean, I haven't seen any advertising on Live anyway.
Well, they don't need to advertise.
Yeah, that's right.
It's sold out. Adam Mudge just wrote promo girls ? I don't know if he's referring to your costume or not.
Maybe the Lawnhub girls that we had at the races.
You guys got hats back in stock ? Did we run out of hats?
Yes, because the embroidery went from this much to worth more than what the hat cost us. So we're trying to find a embroiderer that's not going to take us to the cleaners.
There you go, Daniel. Sorry, no hats.
But we've got, if he's after a hat, we'll send him one of these.
Yeah, send an email to adam@lawnhub.com.au with your address and we will send you a hat
Yep.
for free. Please, no one else ask for a hat. You are not going to get one. Okay, hi. Actually, let's do the giveaways just because a lot of people probably aren't actually interested in watching this. They just want to know if they won the pack. So, do you need the link, Kira, to bring up the giveaway up on the screen? Do you need the link for that? I think I sent it to you yesterday. So we had the giveaway yesterday. Johns is back.
He is back.
Mudge said @live. I know what you were talking about, Mudge. I was avoiding answering the question. Also, what the fuck are you doing, dude? I hope you're at lunch. You know what his answer will be? I'm
always
busy
at
making
lunch.
you money.
Yeah.
Nothing is up on there that's sensitive. It's all right. So that's the giveaway. Can you open up the comments and see if you can find the comment that has the most reactions? No reaction.
I had fun with the comments yesterday in that post.
These headphones are giving me a headache. All comments. I know it's not the headphones. I think it's the fact that I've drank so much alcohol yesterday and now I've got these cheap headphones squeezing my fat head. Are there bigger headphones for people with fat heads? Okay, we need to look into that.
Can you not just take the top up? Like,
I've kind of got it like that.
oh, that there at full extension.
I've actually
sexy
seen
fenders.
a few podcasters with like full, the clear ones. I want one of them.
Clear ones.
Yeah, like the ones that you'd wear if you were like hosting the Emmys.
Like one of those.
Yeah, over the back.
Can you organise that, Dylan?
He can do anything.
Is it in the budget?
We don't have a budget for this. This all the money that's been spent here basically came out of what potential wages might get paid. Mudge roll. Mudge is at
Hey.
lunch having a dog roll.
Don't bring a weed to a herbicide fight.
Someone made that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use that. Go for it, Tim. That's the best.
Pretty high, eh?
I like that. That's really good. Basically there was someone yesterday that had, I think they may have reached out to some of their friends and said go like my gift. Well, there's 14.
It's returned.
How did you find that? Oh my god, that GIF was made a long time ago. I didn't even know it was still around. You would have to go to Giphy and find my account.
Yeah, because I tagged you in it and said it's returned. So I'm assuming that it's been.
Oh, this is the best. I've been too busy to look at this. This is good. Oh, what do we got there?
Oh, bluey.
I don't know if we can use that. Aren't they connected to the... Don't say the word.
Hammer bun.
Don't say the word.
Dylan, don't say it. God.
Cut that out in post-production. That's interesting. What was the highest? 30?
But there's one with a baby or something, and it's got. I thought if can you go to
You just scrolled past a massive wad of them. Where was it? There, 19. That's not the highest. All right, what I'll do, we'll keep talking while Kira's trying to find that. What I might do actually is do the giveaway on. I'll do the random one while Kira finds that, because obviously this is not the most engaging live TV. Jonesy, while I'm doing the giveaway, can you please answer the question from Vasilios Carvelas: plums or lemons?
I'm a plum man.
I don't want to say I've never had a plum, relax, just chill, okay? But in my life, I've probably had 2. And my neighbour handed me a bag of Satsuma plums over the fence the other day. And I put them in the fridge.
Yeah, and they're still there.
And they're still there.
Yeah, because I wanted one, but you just put it in the fridge. So.
Oh, well, you need to be more vocal.
Well, I wasn't sure.
It's not a fucking kindergarten.
But to be fair, I used to work at a supermarket, so I used to.
You've bought heaps of plums. Right?
I've bought so many plums and blackberries.
That's straight up. So, lemons, bro. Lemons over plums.
But
They're so versatile.
But they're so different. Like, you can eat plums.
You can put lemon in Corona and have it with
But
tequila.
you can't put a plum in a Corona.
That's right. That's why they're shit.
No, but you can't eat a lemon.
Yeah, well, my kids do. I think lemons. All right, well, I guess we're just going to have to
That's
agree
fine.
that you're an idiot. Okay. I was meant to be doing something while we were having that argument. What is the process for getting... Oh, this is a great question, Tom. I think this is prize-worthy. What is the process for getting WaterPro to design an irrigation system?
That's so good of a question.
That's a smart
So
question from
you go
obviously
to-
someone who is an elite human being.
That's right. You go to waterpro.com.au
I'm going to link it up for them.
and then I believe it's the second or third slide. You'll have a piece of graph paper icon come across the slide. You click that and then there's, I think, 7 instructions with a video of Clint.
There's a Shop Now tab.
There's a Shop Now tab.
You drop that down, and then there'll be a thing down the bottom that says free irrigation design and quote. I'm going to copy that link now and paste it underneath your question. You download it. They're pretty quiet at the moment as well. I've been running ads on Facebook for it, but I think the video is too long, and I haven't had a chance to... I can't reply to it. That's stupid. Why can't you reply to comments?
It's outside of my pay grade.
All right, I'm just going to paste it in there so that everyone can see it. There you go. Someone else asking for a free hat? No. Can I use regular play sand for a reno?
Yep.
Although I'm now going to find another question.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. The thing about, and depending on where you go as well, because each landscape yard will spin a story, but traditionally...
Well, you're saying that a salesperson might lie to someone?
Oh, it's crazy, right? Traditionally, and I use that term loosely, traditionally, a play sand will bind together because the particles are so much finer, but for drainage purposes, not so much drainage purposes, but for, what's the word? For it to be able to be in a school sandpit.
Safety?
Yeah.
Compliance?
Yeah, compliance, that's right. So after time, if too much water's mixed with it, it will bind together. Not like concrete sand, but it gets like that. You tap it and it can turn into like a jelly. Whereas a typical top dress sand, like what's available at railways, which is a multiple particle size top dress sand, it doesn't go all gloopy and bind together. Gloopy.
All right. I've got the Facebook comments coming up on my computer.
Beautiful.
So, in the interest of transparency, I like to do this live so that people don't think that we're like giving shit to our mates. Because
We don't have mates.
you might not believe me, but some businesses set up their winners and the winner is pre-decided and they might even be in our industry. So, get Facebook comments. We've done that. Oh, come on, man. Why is this not working? Oh, because it's down there. All right, cool. So this is... Can you see that?
Yeah.
Enough?
Put it in sort of the middle of yourself is good for Instagram as well. So just portrait. So closer to yourself. Keep coming near the microphone. Just in front of the microphone. Or behind.
Wow.
Wow.
I can't see it. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Go. This is for the winner of the random comment picker name. I made it do it for 10 seconds for
Tim
suspense.
Crawley.
Congratulations, Tim. If you are on the live, please raise your hand or comment. We will give you a minute to do that because if you are on the live, you will also get a $100 voucher to buy stuff that you like. Alcohol, Anything but a hardware shop.
Yep.
So, that's done. Kira, have you managed to find the top number of reactions?
Beautiful.
Tim's GIF. Here we go. Tim's GIF.
Yeah, there we go.
Tim's GIF.
Oh. Hello there.
I would also like to send a prize to the person who made
Should have shot to that camera.
the NSFW.
Do you know?
It won't be the full pack, but we'll send them something because I think that was very well done.
Do you know who that GIF is of?
Is that Luke Skywalker?
Fucking hell.
Anakin? I know it's not R2D2.
No, it's Obi-Wan.
Is it... What's his name?
Obi-Wan.
No, he's the actor's name. Ewan McGregor? I know that. That's more important.
Okay.
Look,
Someone with your brain, I would have thought that you would have liked Star Wars and really...
well, I never watched it, so how would I know? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
I could have, if I'd said to you, I started watching it and turned it off because it was shit, that would make sense to that comment, but I just never watched it. And then once I became, well, I pretty much discovered drugs and alcohol at
I was going to say it, but I was like,
15,
nah,
probably?
we'll give him a chance.
Yeah, 15.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't watching. I mean,
No.
we used to watch, like, what was that? Not High School High. What was that one? Like, these dudes just smoked weed all the time. Jay and Silent Bob, that kind of shit.
Wayne's World.
Not as much.
No.
What is it called? Weed, reefer, stoned? Anyway, doesn't matter. This is not why we're here. So congratulations, Tim.
Well done.
Has Tim commented? Is he on the live? No. All right, we've got so many more questions.
It's funny because at the start we were like, fuck, we've only got 3 questions. Like, we're going to have to actually talk about something.
Oh, and Jesse Romeo,
Yes.
most reactions. So Jesse, I have a child that dances like that. So Jesse, comment if you're on the live, and we will add a voucher for you as well. Kira, do you want to just try and make a decision around our best question so far, and just highlight it to me in our private chat? So in case I think it's shit, and I'll tell you to do it again.
Wow. Crazy.
All right. Where are we? Simon Sharp. Any suggestions on how to stop galahs from ripping up Mackay?
Dylan answered this question on TikTok with a water gun.
As in to sit outside. What about those salt guns they shoot flies with? You know those bugger
Yeah,
salts?
actually, I did see that.
Surely this is going to get clipped and become an ad for them. Surely you could shoot birds with them.
I mean, because... And salt is like...
Now we're going to get emails from Peter.
It's a but it's a natural resource as well. So it's not like it's...
So is lead.
Didn't let me finish. It's environmentally friendly. You know, it's relatively cheap. So, yeah, fill it up with salt and...
You know what? That's salt.
Yeah, that's salt. Okay.
Is the salt lamp on?
Nah, it's not. We had to utilize.
You had to sacrifice it. I don't think the $29 light bars that we bought are really shining.
Yeah, we got some cool effects. Though. Maybe we
All right, Dylan, can you make that Lawnhub orange, please? All right, sorry guys. Sorry.
Yeah,
whoever's
look.
stuck is still listening.
Look, speak to your local council to see what you can and can't do, but there are control methods that require licensed people to do it.
What, to get rid of galahs? Mm-hmm. You can do that?
Yeah. Not all councils allow it, though.
I'm guessing regional councils more than like the city councils.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
ones who have their pronouns in their email address.
Yeah.
All right.
Mate, bloke.
I went to JB Hi-Fi today to buy some stuff to finalise this, and their staff have their pronouns on their name tags.
I'm
Anyway.
telling you.
What's the process? Oh, we've answered that one. Thanks for the question, Tom. You're an amazing human being. Tom, if you want to get your WaterPro design system, send it through to clint@waterpro.com.au, and I will jump you to the top of the list. Okay, another one from Brad. Hi, I'm living in Melbourne.
Hello, Brad.
Sorry about that. Love your work. How do I deter birds from my lawn? Is there a spray or something else you recommend? Applied Money Shot this morning and can't wait to see what happens. Cheers.
Beautiful.
So we covered the birds. Look, a serious answer is you can get bird deterrent things like sticks with strings and owls that swing.
Yeah.
And
It's too slow.
you could go onto websites like YouTube and Google how to turn into a bottle into a spinning noisemaker.
Yep.
Some people put bottles of water to try and scare them with light. If you're, in my neck of the woods, goon bags.
Yep. Goonbag that's a Australian recognised term. It's not just a South Australian word,
I
right?
hope so. Goon of fortune.
Goon of fortune.
All right. Kira has shortlisted me 3 winners. I really want to give it to Tom. Was it best question? No, it was suburb. We're doing both. We'll just give them both prizes. All right.
You'll get a car. You'll get a car. You'll get a car.
Well, they're not going to get a full pack. They might get, I don't know, a bottle of NSFW or something.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's still worth $55 plus delivery.
yeah.
$69.95. Is that right?
90.
90. Sorry. What else do we want to talk about? Let's just check if there's more questions, and then we might just quickly talk about the SCG because I think that's something that you really wanted to talk about, and it was something that the audience were. So, Brad, we've answered your question. Look, Money Shot, you will be blown away at how different your lawn will be tomorrow morning. Also, please be really careful around application of Money Shot. It will stain pavers, concrete, cream fences, all that jazz. We have seen a bit of chatter on our, obviously when we put an ad on Facebook or Instagram, the internet's quite a unique place and people believe that it's their opportunity to tell us what's wrong with what we're doing and criticise people that are just trying to live their lives.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But there was one guy that posted a photo of an amazing lawn that was that he'd used Money Shot on. Did we reach out to him? That was where I said, make sure you send this guy some love. Like it was, that was not. We didn't ask him to do that, and I think sometimes people think that we do. But I wanted to make sure that we, sent him something to say thanks for sharing his results. And he had Money Shot staining on his concrete, and I reckon there was a few comments, but there was a product that popped up there that will get it wasn't CLR, but it was something else that would get it.
There is a product it's called Iron X or XFE or something like that.
We should sell it.
Yeah, we should.
And call it like Clean Up or something. Or, well, we'll work on that.
Yeah, we'll work on that.
Another question from Angus McGregor. How often do you boys verticut your lawns during the growing season? I'm supposed to do it every 2 weeks, and I do it once a year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, unless Clint brings a verticutter to work, I just use my Ryobi scarifier I would like to use at least once a month, but reality probably, once a season after a
My
run.
verticutter gets used more by other people than it does by me.
Good piece of kit. Enjoyed it.
Lee Cox looking to buy... he's already asked that question, hasn't he? All right. I will go through and find a comment.
All right.
Can you explain to me why we're talking about the SCG?
So I'm a very... I take note of things that maybe other people don't. And there was a comment made during the cricket at the SCG on the weekend, Sunday, on the 4th. 4th? Yeah. That the SCG was trialling new grass for the cricket squares. Now, I, in the lawn world, spruiked my ears up and thought straight away I had an idea of what turf variety that was, and I reached out to my contact, and there are 2 Tahoma 31 trial pitches in the SCG.
They run drop-ins?
They're drop-ins, yeah.
How many have they got? Like 8 or something?
SCG's got...
6 or 8.
Yeah, 8 or 9 or something.
So
yeah.
enough.
Yeah, enough. So, and to my knowledge, they're the first Tahoma drop-ins that have been set on that sort of scale. Like they've been used in universities grade grounds, new grounds and stuff like that, but never in Australia at that level, which is pretty exciting considering that, you know, here in South Australia, all the Adelaide Oval pitches are Santa Ana, because that's just what it's been, and it's been a very good performer for South Australian conditions, whereas Tahoma is a different turf variety in that it's a cooch, but it's, you know, the colour, the response, the recovery time. Because it was noticeable at the SCG that there was, I think, 3 squares with barely any grass on them at all, and that's what sparked the conversation. So,
what are the risks of them rolling out a Tahoma 31 cricket pitch?
I mean, that and again, traditionally that'd be the same turf variety for years and years. So the SCG has a reputation of it being a bowler's pitch maybe for the first session and a half, then it really flattens out, and then day 3, 4 and 5 becomes a spinning wicket, traditionally. Now, with the introduction of drop-in wickets, some traditions have changed a little bit, but they've tried staying true to their nature a lot. So I suppose the risks are if it doesn't perform the same as what we're all used to, then there could be criticism. It could, and I'm not saying that it would decipher the result of a test match, but if you went in spin heavy, then you want to be bowling on the last day rather than batting. But if it stays a road from day 1 to day 5, well then, you know, there could be issues there. But I think we live in a day and age where enough research and product testing would have been done for them to be able to go, let's trial it.
I'm guessing it's unlikely that those pitches will play in a Ashes or a whatever in their first use. Like they'll get rolled out for a state game or whatever, and they'll test
Big Bash, something like
play
that.
limited overs on it and just kind of see how it reacts.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because like a bit like a golf course, the cricket pitch is the centre of the game. Without a good pitch, you end up with pitches like India with no grass on them and just big dust bowls, and you got spinners opening the bowling, which is not good viewing.
What are the potential benefits of it working? Like what could
it working? Quicker recovery time. So
compared to say
now I don't know what's traditionally used at the SCG either. It could be a Santa Ana. I don't know. It could be a different cooch variety, but
someone will know. You'll get a message here.
Yeah. But for example, if you're like the AFL might go, okay, the drop-in is only allowed to be 5 wickets now. So now you have to plan a whole summer schedule around 5 cricket pitches. If you've got a grass variety that can be played on for 4 or 5 days, but then that pitch needs to be up and running again in 2 weeks because the other four pitches are being used, then the benefits of a new turf variety that's going to be able to recover fast is that the squares will become smaller, because as much as these ovals were cricket ovals first, they are essentially governed by the AFL.
Because the AFL, it brings more money?
I would say so, and there's a massive player safety standpoint for AFL. So AFL grounds from a certain, I suppose if you draw an imaginary line, everything below that needs to be a certain grass variety. So that's why Adelaide Oval went from pure Santa Ana to ryegrass because of the AFL regulations. And if you've ever been to Adelaide Oval and you come through the southern stand, the big one, you walk straight in and you go left to the museum area. You can they've got a big profile up of how the soil is compiled and stuff. So they've done that for drainage and for what's that? The clegg.
Clegg hammer, yeah. So the compaction,
hammer.
What it would feel like to fall on it.
Yeah, that's right. So and that was why the World Cup couldn't be played there, the Women's World Cup soccer, because it's not like Hindmarsh. It didn't pass the compaction and the rebound test. So there's a lot that goes into sports turf management than what people understand.
Yeah, because I've seen under the hood, I guess in line with the landscape side of things, disappointed that there's not more. And look, I think commentators, especially in cricket, are very aware of the work that goes into pitch prep and always call out the good work of the
Yeah,
staff.
absolutely.
It is such a thankless job. And if you have a test that plays for 4 days and 5 hours and it's like the last ball and it wins, no one gives a fuck. But if so no one gets credit for that because that's a pitch, right? That's the pitch.
Yeah, that's
It's
Test cricket.
It's
yeah.
it's not really much else. They gave the most fair pitch for the game.
Yeah.
But if it finishes in 89, 87 runs,
Yeah.
that could be the pitch.
It could be. Yeah. Well, yeah.
It should. Sorry. And the thing is, this is the crazy thing. As a turf professional, that you've done a good job if no one's talking about you.
Yeah, and that's something that Hoffy's has touched on as well. You know,
you don't want to be talked about.
yeah, you don't want to be talked about. You just want to be able to prepare a pitch, and then for people to play cricket. And the same goes for golf courses as well. For amateurs, they prefer typically a slower green, but the professionals they love a quick green.
Yep.
So
because they know how to play with it.
they know how to play with it. So if the greens are slow, you get slagged. Whereas, as an amateur or a hack, if the greens are quick, you get slagged.
And the funny thing is, the people that look after the greens are not responsible for the speed of play in tournaments. That's directed by the tournament director.
By the tournament, yeah.
Tim Legg on Facebook, my back lawn is mostly nut grass. Would it be best to kill that before fertilising?
Oh, you could use the same mentality as the weed and feed pack where you fertilise first, then use Halo Force, which is going to control nut grass. So basically you follow the same process, fertilise first, wait 10 days and use Halo Force.
Drone Pilots Queensland, love the vids boys, keep it real and don't get too serious. I don't know how much you know about us, but there is absolutely no chance that this is going to get serious.
Nah.
I think that there's enough people in the lawn world that keep it serious. One thing we will do is always be serious about the things that we need to be serious about,
That's
but
right.
the rest of it is getting it done, having fun. How is the Tiff Tough tracking, Clint, since the Renault? It's okay.
There's literally no harder critique than yourself when you're Tiff Tough.
Yeah, it's
There'll be a new episode next week as well.
Yeah, which will be 2 weeks behind what the reality is today with this answer. But the glypho piss, I haven't had my irrigation cycle on in the mornings. I didn't want to water it too much because of the thatching and it's really spotty at the moment. So my plan is this weekend to mow it really low and verticut it.
In 47 minutes.
I don't even know if I've got that much time. And then put a pretty heavy watering cycle, like really deep watering on it and just try and get it looking good. I don't know. Even today before I came here, I was in my backyard, and this will be funny for anyone that has an understanding of my businesses. My irrigation was leaking and a T had snapped, and I don't know how long it's been snapped for, but my garden isn't irrigating. So there's just a stream of water that's on for an hour every 4 days or something, just dumping, 12,000 litres of water into the backyard. And then, so there's the hedges and that are just all dying. So I'm out there watering them, knowing that I have to leave because if I didn't leave then, I wouldn't get to the shops to buy the stuff to get here to have the lunch to eat before. And that's why I started late, because I've got a hedge that's dying. So I'm hand watering that. Yeah, it's just, I need to get it would be a good idea for me to engage people to take care of that for me. But I'm a believer that the more external help you bring into your personal life, the more complicated your personal life gets. And you kind of just, even if you've got money, I think there's a certain level of whatever, not the word, I'm thinking pride was the word that came into my head, but it's not even that. It's just like mental well-being, just taking care of shit yourself. And there'll be a point when I just can't. But for now, it's just, I don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. We've got a lawn that's nice enough for the kids to run around on, and most people would be happy with it.
Yeah.
I'm just not. Hey lads, Jacko here on YouTube. Got a few high spots in the lawn that are stopping water from draining towards the curb. Any tips on lowering the height? This is an interesting question, because I've thought about that with my lawn. I think I've got a slight mound. What would you do if you needed to lower your lawn?
In that situation, I would mow on the lower setting, preferably with a rotary mower, but if you've got a cylinder mower that needs sharpening, drop it on its ass and literally, and you've said
Like, you mean use it like a lathe?
yeah, like plane it. And you've said that you've used
sorry,
that
a plane, yeah.
you've used that terminology, I think, before in a video where you felt like you planed your lawn.
Yeah.
That's going to be the neatest way.
Yep.
Because if you were to dig it up and take soil out and then put the turf
Yeah,
back
you have
in,
this, like, cup.
you have the opposite effect. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. Then you just top dress with sand. But I would try and mow it out, or
Shave it out.
shave it out.
So, a turf cutter, like my thoughts for my lawn was to turf cut an area out and lower it, but I think where it'll be like a crater.
Yeah.
You just have this ridge.
Because it's got to settle. And then when it settles, and then, I mean, if you had access to a good turf cutter, because there are like black and gold versions of turf cutters, and then there's the premium brand of turf cutters. So, but yeah, I'd try and literally mow it out or plane it out with a mower.
Jesse Romeo was tuned into the live, winner of the highest liked GIF and the $100 Smiggle voucher. He said, I have to go back to work now. I'll send you guys a message.
Beautiful.
Good on you, dude. Or do that. Do that? Do that?
I think so.
You can't assume. Brenton Ellis.
Oh, Brenton.
Will the pod get to Spotify? Easier for me to listen. Yes, that was a question. Sorry?
It's on there now. Spotify.
Yeah, Brenton, go look. It's on there now. So episode 1 went on to Spotify. As far as we know, you can't stream live to Spotify. Dylan looked this morning, and I looked as well. And every time you Google streaming live on Spotify, it assumes that you want to stream music live to yourself, not stream live into the spot.
But the fact it wasn't easy to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not really.
I've never watched a live stream on Spotify, and to be honest, videos only really recently become available. I'm guessing now that Joe Rogan's no longer exclusive to Spotify, we'll probably get $100 million deal to go exclusive to Spotify in the next 2 months.
Yeah.
So you guys might have to only watch it on Spotify, at which point we will start smoking during the podcast. You ever smoked cigarettes?
Vomited twice.
Okay, we'll have to probably start you on
Nah,
the old douche flute, and then we'll work our way
I'm
up.
good. I'll just drink my water. Still,
Spotify water.
yeah.
Okay, so I don't think there's any more questions in there. Oh, gosh. Jack Chapo said 15 people for 100 minutes. What is this downtime costing the business world? Yeah, I would say that the number of people who have watched this is dramatically lower than the amount of people that are probably in the toilet watching TikTok pretending to work in all businesses.
But what you can't see is the team's still packing.
He's not talking about our team. He's
sorry.
talking about the global economy.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, he said the business world. This is a good question, actually, Jonesy. This is the kind of question that... Have we given a question prize away yet?
We gave one to Tom Knight, who
Did...
missed his location, but he's got in contact with us.
Have you kept all the details?
Yes.
Cool. Big Leaf Dropper 86. Took my lawn to the next level after a soil analysis this season. Applied products that it needed. Have you guys thought about offering this sort of service?
Well. Literally just finished our form. So, the answer is yes, and will be available probably early next week on the website, and we can do a post and all that about it. But yes, so the thing about soil analysis is that we needed to find someone, and this company actually reached out to us, which is awesome, but I wanted an analysis done that was not... I didn't want it to have all the bullshit in it. Like, I wanted
You
it to
wanted
have...
a simple analysis.
Yeah, I wanted it to be relevant to what us turfies want.
Yep.
Not,
So they don't want to know how much calcium or... is that?
well,
I mean,
calcium's in it, yeah,
Alright,
but
bad
there's
example.
stuff in a soil report that means nothing to us because
like clay content.
not so much that. And I don't know the actual words because, I'm not I'm not sophisticated enough, but
I'd love a coffee, eh? We need like a runner. Hopefully when Spotify sign up that.
just we got a mansion, can stream from that.
Two mansions. One to live in, one to stream from.
Yeah.
Two Clints, one girl.
Yeah. So soil analysis, and I've worked out so it'd be very easy for the person at home to be able to organise it. That was another thing that was important.
So what would they do? Would they buy it on Lawnhub's website and then we send them the kit?
No. So what they need to do, as far as I'm aware, is that they'll collect 400 to 500 grams worth of soil from around their lawn area.
That much?
Yeah, about that much. About a Ziploc bag worth.
A fitty bag?
A fitty bag. And then you send that off to...
I have no idea what we're talking about.
There will be an address that you need to send it to. And then we do our back-end stuff for the company. And then, you'll get the soil sample results will come back to us. And then we then...
Make recommendations
based on the products that
That's
we offer.
very exciting. That is very cool. Do you have a cost in mind? You don't have to answer that live, but have you?
So, obviously, there's people out there that do it. I don't know the level of service.
Yeah.
So, I have a cost in my head, but it may not reflect what other people do.
Less or more than $100?
I'm thinking, I'm thinking more only because you're going to get a more tailored response.
Yep. Okay.
Rather than you getting the report back and having to sort it out yourself.
Yep.
So, because this obviously costs us money too.
Yeah, I'm just thinking purely from a business case standpoint that doing the soil tests at cost would likely result in fertilizer sales. So,
and I mean, that's obviously something we haven't spoken about either, and we can 100% do that. Yeah.
Someone just commented about GABA and SCG are the only grounds that don't use drop-ins these days. You said that it's a drop-in at the SCG.
I thought the SCG was a drop-in enabled to get the... I know the GABA doesn't.
I'll message someone. Hang on.
I could be wrong.
I'll ring Adam Lewis.
Yes.
Like, what are you ringing me for?
I mean, like I said, I could be wrong. But I thought the SCG had transitioned to drop-ins.
You could Google it rather than me messaging someone who's probably meant to be preparing a turf wicket.
Yeah. Oh, and the MCG's pitches were taken out this week as well, ready for AFL, because the first round of AFL is in March this year.
Oh, no.
Which is really early.
There's another thing that you can add to the list of things I don't watch.
AFL.
Yeah, fuck that, man.
I don't know. Google says,
Paul Stevens missed the start. Paul was the most comments on our last podcast, I reckon. Drone Pilots Queensland says quality reports $150 inclusive of a 12-month plan. That feels right.
Pardon?
Drone Pilots Queensland says quality reports $150 inclusive of a 12-month plan.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking that much, but...
Yeah, that feels
that
feels fair. Problem with other suppliers that do them is they don't offer a plan to go with it. Too much guesswork for the average homeowner.
Yeah, so I wanted ours to be more tailored.
All inclusive. The white glove service. Oh, the Lawnhub service. There's got to be a name. There's something there.
Yeah, so Google says, and so I apologise, I was wrong. So they must have had those.
So they put Toma on the ground.
Yeah, they must have done that like early. Okay.
John Priest, they have used the different US variety to stop the effect on the pitch from the footy season. It's not working well. The smart move would have been a drop-in, but New South Wales board wouldn't change it. There you go. And
they're below that imaginary line that I was talking about. So New South Wales, Queensland, they're above the imaginary line that requires the rye outfield. Yeah.
What's the imaginary line?
Like
is that a
New South Wales?
Is that a geographical line?
It's an imaginary. Or
is it a like New South Wales is more elite than South Australia, so they can do what they want line?
Probably, but their climate's a bit different.
So it's a climatic, geographical line.
Because Optus Stadium in Perth. I'm pretty sure that's a rye.
Well, you don't know much about stadiums, so you want to be careful. You've been saying
Well,
a lot of mistruths.
Yeah, but then again, it's always okay to be wrong as long as you accept it and you move on.
And you don't say the same stupid thing the next day.
Yeah, that's right.
Jay Perdad says, I bought the Lawn Builder pack. When can I integrate NSFW into it? I would suggest in line with the Weed and Feed pack. And yeah, around 10 days after applying it, you will be able to apply NSFW. Please stick to the instructions. I had a question somewhere before about spot spraying, and I don't know where I saw it. I don't know if you've seen it, Kira, but someone asked, can I spot spray NSFW?
No, you cannot. Well, as per the label instructions, and we probably needed to explain this further when we released it, but because it's a commercial label, and that's where sometimes the line gets a bit confusing. Because it's a commercial label, it's assumed that the person using it has read the entire label. Now, if a label makes note to spot spraying, it'll have a different rate to that of the standard application rate. NSFW doesn't have a separate rate. It's just 50 mils per 100 squares over the entire area. So unless a label makes reference to spot spraying, you have to assume that it's blanket spray, so over the entire area.
Knowing what we know about NSFW, even if there was a rate, you're still going to stuff it up, right? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you had a spot spray rate, what do you stand there for?
Yeah, that's the thing.
1,000.
Yeah, like how...
Yeah.
And we've spoken about it before. Each nozzle's different. Each spray is different. Everyone's power out of your hand is different. Like, yeah, so many variables when it comes to spraying in general.
Robert Shoesmith. Hi. Why is my couch grass trunks brown and my leaf green? How do I repair that? I think he's referring to thatch.
Yeah, it could be thatch. Could be, depending on the variety of couch, some stalk up a bit easier or a bit quicker than other couch varieties. So I would start, depending on where you live, dethatch or a scarifier, nice wetting agent, water, fertilizer.
Lower your mower.
Yeah.
Maybe. I would say, reading that question, I look at it as like with my Tiff Tuff, that if you pull a bit out, there's green grass on the top, which is what's being exposed to the sun, and the rest is brown, not exposed to the sun. Where are your products from/made? So our liquids are all made in South Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Our granular wetting agent is imported from overseas.
Yep.
And our granular fertilizer is from South Australia.
Mm-hmm.
What else is it? NSFW is made in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
What else is there? Lawnhub hats were made in America. Well, the hat was made in Bangladesh. Then they were embroidered in America. I think that's everything.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd like to, and WaterPros is exactly the same, but we like to source local manufacturers and local supplier before we outsource. The only reason why BBW is outsourced is because the active's not available here in Australia. You have to outsource that. So.
Even the buckets are made in South Australia. In Australia. So Lawnhub buckets are made in Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
The bottles, Jenny cans are made in Victoria.
Yep. The NSFW bottles are made in Victoria. The caps are made in Victoria.
Yep. And then the Trojan and BBW is bucketed in South Australia. Mm-hmm. And so all the buckets are done in South Australia.
Yep.
And the liquids are done in Victoria. Oh, some of them are done in South Australia, actually. We do some ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And when we move to America, when we expand to America, it is my focus to use US manufacturers using our Australian formulation and to support the local economy that we're in. It matters a lot to me. I think that globalization has forced some industries to not be able to support local industry. What I'm finding with any product that's heavy or any product that's completely hollow, that's big, you can generally still make locally because it's the freight dollars are too hard to compete with. So an example would be this bottle is very unlikely to make this bottle overseas because of how much air's in it and what it's worth. But the plastic that it's made from might have been imported from overseas, or the actual pre-blown plastic might have been made overseas and it gets blown here. So have you seen how they're basically like a little test tube?
Yeah, okay.
And then they heat it up and they blow it and it blows into the mold. So the test tube might have been made not here, but yeah. Matt Worth on Facebook, is it safe to dethatch or scarify buffalo?
It is, but if you watch the renovation video that we did at Railways, there's a whole segment there on buffalo, but basically you don't want to be too aggressive that there's no green material left. It's really important with buffalo that you make sure that you leave green material, green material being the leaf of the plant, exposed, because you get rid of the green material, like buffalo, like I mentioned before, you get rid of the green material, you're essentially removing the plant. So it's really important.
Another buffalo question. I've used Trojan and BBW, but still have a couple of patches that didn't come up as good. Anything I can do to fix this? From Gleds Wood Hills, New South Wales.
If patches referring to as in like coverage wise,
I feel like the lawn, like I mean, when I was reading the comment, I was thinking that the lawn didn't improve as much in certain areas, and it's covered, but it didn't look as good as the rest.
Yeah.
But I know it's hard without seeing photos and understanding. Like shade, I think we see a lot of the photos we see where there's inconsistencies around. Sorry to cut him off, and I haven't really done it. Inaccurate application of fertilizer, inaccurate application of water, and shaded areas that are like inconsistent will cause an inconsistent lawn growth. If you would like to, Scott, send the photos through to either adam@lawnhub.com.au or to our Facebook page, and that will help. Anyone that does have questions that we haven't answered, you can DM us and we will answer you as soon as we can. I had a comment on, we occasionally get comments on socials about how we don't respond and basically that our products are shit and they killed their lawn and whatever else. And I think that we're sitting here for 2 hours now answering questions live that you can all see. We have not avoided any question at all. We've answered every question. We don't hide. I said on the chat to this guy last night, and now that I've spoken to the team, this guy's obviously had issues with us in the past, that we there's nothing we can't do, right? Like if there's a problem, we fix it, and we don't hide from it. Like our brand is way too important to us. We spent millions of dollars. I'm literally talking millions of dollars growing this brand. It's not something that I'm willing to throw away by just ignoring some dude who his lawn died because our products that have worked for 30 or 29,999 other people didn't work for him.
It's above 50.
Sorry, 50,000 people. I think we've had 50,000 sales, but 30,000 emails.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, we've had people come and go, but
business. But yeah, like with the fact that we've sent out 50,000 orders and that every day another...
What they get
200 something,
yeah.
buy fertilizer. Yeah, we've done, Angus McGregor, when is your next Renault demo at Railways? I feel like we need to do one now.
Yeah, considering what it looked like when you sent that photo through. It's a bit disappointing. But, look, if there's enough demand for it, I suppose we could maybe do something. Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of screwed the pooch, for lack of a better term, on that Kaiku. I don't know what happened. It looked like Mount Lawnhub when I was there last time. So, yeah. Daniel Pittman, how many staff members work at Lawnhub? I think Josie's the only one that actually works.
On the books...
Don't say it like that. Don't say it like that. Everyone is legally employed, has a contract.
Yes, they do.
Jesus Christ.
It was a joke. Oh, my God.
You know, like, that we have connections with the Skills Commissioner.
I'm fully aware because you made the same joke.
Hi, Cam. Cam would be watching.
Yeah.
So there was 10 at its peak. So September we had 10. technically, I think both our media staff are employed by Lawnhub, but do a hybrid across all the businesses, with probably their 80% of their time being spent on Lawnhub. Jonesy's a Lawnhub employee, but is his role encompasses more than Lawnhub. From a full-time standpoint, Josie and Jai are two that are working every day. Jack and Luke are working every day.
Yeah, just about.
Isaac and Adriana work 24 hours a week in line with their maximum number of hours they can work under their visa conditions. And Alice is gone.
Yeah, I think her last shift's next week.
Yeah, that's right, because I said I wouldn't see her. She's off to greener pastures. Mm-hmm. The grass is greener on her side of the fence.
Yep.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can pretty much run. We could probably do another. I don't know. We're probably not selling as much as we could with the amount of people we've got. So we've got a lot of potential for growth. And the warehouse we're in now, I think we could double our, if not triple our capacity, and we'd still be fine. So
Yeah, because we've still got enough. We've still got an alleyway that we can run more pallet racking.
Yeah.
So
Timothy James, I have really thick kikuyu. Would scarifying be a good idea? Will it make a difference? It's so thick despite being regularly mowed. Oh, you can explain that.
yeah, so absolutely. So you want to thin the turf canopy out massively. So scarifier, scalp, mow low, lawn builder pack, for example, water. The beauty of that is, and it was funny because there was a comment on YouTube yesterday that the lawns don't need oxygen or something along those lines, but they do.
Yeah,
and
I read that.
by not allowing nutrients, water and oxygen to pierce where it's all thick, it's inhibiting the plant to be able to recover and grow efficiently. So by getting rid of all the loose, thick, dead material, you'll find that the new growth that comes through is very green and vigorous, and it's basically a height of cut reset as well, and you'll be able to mow at a much more enjoyable level without it being spongy.
I'll punch through as many more questions as I can. They're still coming through. Grey water or recycled water okay for watering? ?
I mean, I think you'd be more knowledgeable around that.
Yeah.
So I think it just depends what's in the grey water.
Well, if it becomes black water.
Yeah.
So recycled water, yes, it's used for irrigation everywhere now. If you notice in any of the development areas that are in the kind of urban sprawl, you'll see lilac coloured pipes, sprinkler heads, that kind of thing. That signifies that either recycled water or non-drinking water is being used or will be used at some point.
Lilac being purple.
Okay, yep, you could say that.
Just in case people weren't sure what lilac meant.
Yep, and purple is a colour that is a mix of red and blue, if anyone doesn't know what purple is. Thanks, Jonesy. And if anyone doesn't know what their primary colours are, we'll do that next week. So
I'm going to have to read up.
And their secondary colours, Kira can cover this. They did this in New Zealand in year 11. So the difference between recycled and grey is that recycled is generally in a condition that you could drink, and I'm not saying you should drink or you can drink, but the water gets to a state that it wouldn't hurt you if you drank it. It's just potentially had shit or piss in it
Correct.
at some point. Grey water is the kind of water that hasn't been treated, so it's coming out of a washing machine, a dishwasher, a shower. So if you would think, like if you had a shower and you used relatively natural products to clean yourself and you could catch that water, you're pretty much putting that on your lawn, you should be fine. If you're dumping, and the boys from Lucent Globe will love this one, if you're dumping traditional dishwasher chemicals on your lawn, it's very likely that it's going to hurt it because there's bleaches and other probably carcinogens. Whereas if you use natural products in your dishwasher, then you could probably use grey water to water your lawn. It really depends on the quality, as you said. If you're running it through MP rotators or drip tube, the quality of the water, not just from a chemical standpoint, but from a hair and bodily skin
Fluids.
cells, etc., could block your sprinklers.
Yep.
Oils, that kind of thing. Obviously, there's no long hairs falling into your drain, but well, not from your head anyway.
You could also,
was like, well, I'm working.
Could you filter that water though?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you were going to try to use your grey water in your house, you would need to think about that at the point of building, not at the point of like putting in a lawn, because you'd have to have catchments that catch the grey water out of the drain and then have an overflow. The other thing with grey water, and it depends on the local regulations, but in South Australia, you can't hold grey water for more than 24 hours. So I know that there would be, especially during drought conditions, or with the rising cost of living, you might see, well, I've seen this with kind of like older Australians filling up their wheelie bins with, like there was back when the drought was at its, worst in 06, 07, there were businesses selling wheelie bins with pumps in them, and people were dumping their washing machine liquid in there and then going out and spraying that over there, whatever. So
yeah, it was a weird time and during that time, because I remember, we're allowed to talk about it now, statute of limitations, right?
On what?
Mum used to wash her car every Friday. And she used to...
Mum's a generic term for someone he met at work.
She used to turn the lights off and
wash
then
her car.
Then wash the car so no one would have a wind.
Yeah, because back then you had to wash the car in a plastic thing. You had to have a commercial thing, and then you had to reuse the water.
It was nuts.
I think obviously the government can sometimes overreach. That's probably the end of that sentence. So, do you sell over the counter at Churchill Road North? We sure do. When we opened up the Cavan warehouse, Waterpro at Dry Creek retained a reseller arrangement with Lawnhub. You can go in there, and generally Jonesy's based there, so you generally get advice that you need. Most of that team have been skilled up because they're kind of answering the questions or being with Jonesy when he answers the questions at the counter, and they stock this. They would have the second highest volume of stock after Lawnhub themselves in the country, world, universe. Theo George from Instagram. Hi, gents.
Hello.
Yep.
Hello there.
I'm laying a new turf in brackets Sapphire Buffalo. Fuck, I could have a beer. I just had alcohol cravings just kick in. What time is it?
What did I say when I walked through the door today?
2:09.
Oh, one beer.
Yeah.
I just felt it. It just came in. That's that alcoholism popping back. All right, cool. Before we finish asking this question, I genuinely had a period in my life where I was considering hiring a driver so I could just drink all the time and just take me to meetings and just be drunk.
What a baller.
I think, obviously,
Were you on your craft beers back then?
No, that would have just been like Heineken's.
Yeah.
And you can do 20 or 30
that's
a day,
right.
no stress.
Yeah.
So, back to the question. Sorry, Theo. Hi, gents. I'm laying new turf, Sapphire Buffalo. We'll be buying the Cherry Popper pack.
Beautiful.
Any recommendations on whether to follow the calendar provided, given that it's the end of summer?
Yes.
Good question.
Obviously, you've done everything right. You can follow the Cherry Popper pack day one, whether it's spring, summer, winter, autumn. It says spring on there. We might have to change the terminology there of when you get the turf or something like that. But yeah, absolutely. You can follow that turf. You can follow the Cherry Popper application calendar day one as you lay your turf. Phone's ringing. Phone's working again at Lawnhub.
Here we go. Ashley Waters on Facebook. And this is a good example of us not avoiding questions. We've bought the golf course green pack for our Pencross bent grass front lawn. We have followed the instructions to a T, but there are several patches where our dog wheeze that haven't regenerated. Okay, this is not a bad question. I thought it was going in a different direction than it was, but it's not. We haven't allowed her near that lawn in around 6 weeks. This is the best answer to how do I stop my lawn dying from a dog weeing on it. Don't let your dog on your lawn. So the dog hasn't been around it for 6 weeks, so would have thought it would have bounced back by now. Any help is appreciated. Bent grass is a seeded grass.
Yeah, so Pencross, bent grass, is, that's what was written, Pencross. So Pencross, bent grass, whilst it will come back and rejuvenate and spread, it's not the most efficient bent grass that there is.
So it's more clumping than coochie.
When it's damaged, it takes a lot longer for it to recover to the point where you probably need to overseed those areas. Whereas if you had a higher cultivar of bent, say, for 777, for example, which is a higher.
Lucky sevens.
Yeah.
You can say 777.
Well, no, there's actually a whole bent grass range based around sevens and 007.
At the casino in
10,
Adelaide,
7.
you used to be able to bet on sevens.
Yeah.
So you play blackjack, and you know how they have perfect pairs?
Yeah.
They'd have sevens. And so if you got 1, 2, or 3 sevens in your hand, you'd win. So 3 sevens is
Yeah.
obviously fucking plus the anyway.
Yeah, so I've actually, I don't anymore. I've removed it from my front lawn, but that was a Pencross bent grass. I did find though that if I ever burnt it through application of fertilizer burn or sprayed too much money shot.
This isn't directed at me.
No. But I did find that the Pencross took a long time to recover, to the point where I re-overseeded areas twice.
And as with mine, scratch away the dead stuff first.
Yeah. So
I didn't. I just pushed some seeds into the dead lawn and.
I mean, that could
need to water my top lawn.
house the seed, stop it from drying out. You don't have to, but it is better too. So, yeah, I would say that the urine burn from the dog has completely destroyed that plant in that area and requires overseeding.
I forgot to water my top lawn. Yes, I have an automatic irrigation system and I don't use it. Okay, there's a couple more. We'll keep answering questions.
It's crazy.
Drone pilots, Queensland.
Yep.
Again, boys, my buff has been touched up by lawn grubs in patches. Shall I remove the dead crap top dress, etc., and fert?
Yeah, especially with buffalo, because you want to remove the dead areas, because buffalo, like I've mentioned before, grows on top of the surface. So you want to make the recovery as easy as you possibly can for buffalo, and if that means removing the dead areas for the blades to run across easily, then do it. Buffalo, it can be sensitive, as we know, but if you make it as easy as possible, do that, and then definitely get on an accelopin program.
I'm guessing he seemed to know what he's talking about in a lot of areas, so I'm guessing he probably has. Have I missed anything? Oh, here we go. Sam Hodge, when is the best time to core my lawn?
365 days a year.
Yeah, I was going to say today, if not 3 weeks
Tomorrow,
ago.
last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can core at any time of the year.
Yeah, it really depends on your availability of a core and your budget. Like if you're happy to, ideally, message retracted. Why would you delete a message? I would core mine 4 times a year if the budget was. If I had a core, we thought about buying a core.
Yeah, we legit did.
And it's probably not off the list just to have everything here. So we've got, if we had a core, a scarifier, because we do enough lawn content now. Well, battery savers just turned on. Podcast finishes soon. We have enough. We do enough content that we need those tools. But also, Mars and Hire are down the road.
Yeah.
They're a reseller of our products, and they're amazing.
Good blokes
to deal with. All right, I reckon we should finish it up. If we missed any questions, send us a message and we'll answer them directly. Alternatively, we will cover it next podcast. Thank you to all of those of you that tuned in. This has been very enjoyable. I've been podcasting for a long time in other areas. I'm talking 6 or 8 years. To the amount of support that we're getting
it's crazy.
Is ridiculous. So I look forward to, I won't be here next week. I'm going to a fat loss camp, but Jonesy and his guest will
It's going to be good.
Sort it out.
I'll probably reveal who the guest is on Wednesday or Thursday to the public.
Keep it green.
See you later, guys.
See ya.